Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to Telling Time. Today I want to showcase my Alpha Explorer 36mm watch. I purchased this watch way back in 2020 because at the beginning of my watch collecting journey I really liked the look of the 36mm Rolex Explorer, but of course I didn't have the funds to buy it. So I went on the hunt for alternatives to the Rolex Explorer and contemplated my way through brands like T-Cell, Kronos, San Martin, and Smiths. But I finally landed on Alpha because I think it best represents the feel of the 14270 36mm Explorer at a very affordable price of 120 euros or 200 Australian dollars. Alpha is a brand that I believe operates out of China, and at the time of making this video, I can't find their website anymore, but they seem to now operate through distributors for various regions. And some people may have strong opinions against Chinese watches, and especially Homage watches, but as someone who has owned this one for 5 years, let me show you the details. The Alpha Explorer comes in with a case diameter of 36mm, 42.5mm lug to lug, and 11.5mm thickness, and the lug width is 20mm. These dimensions are perfect for someone after a watch with the same feel as the 36mm Explorer, and as I mentioned before, because of these copied dimensions, the watch feels much like a 14270 Explorer. The dial design is as unoriginal as it gets. If you want the details of the dial, you can just look up some photos of the Rolex Explorer. This watch has the exact same dial design and handset, except branded with the big fat Alpha logo at the 12 o'clock position. The text at the 6 o'clock also kindly reminds you of the 50 meters of water resistance, which is the biggest difference from the Rolex Explorer's 100 meters. The bezel is polished and the top of the lugs are brushed. The case sides are also done on a high polish, and the dial is capped off with a flat sapphire crystal. Being completely honest, I think the watch's specifications and finishing are suitable for its price point. At a price point where you're competing with resin case G-Shocks and quartz Timexes, you're getting an automatic watch with an iconic design and sapphire crystal. The crown is a small screw-down crown stamped with the Alpha logo. The watch features a surprising see-through caseback showcasing the crudely finished Miyota 8215 movement, with an accuracy of -20 to +40 seconds per day, and 42 hours of power reserve. When it comes to lume, I think the watch has decent lume. Nothing outstanding, but it definitely shines. I would say it's maybe half as bright as my Seiko Diver's lume. Finally, the watch comes on a metal bracelet with hollow end links, but screw pins and solid bracelet links. The bracelet tapers down to the stamped friction lock fold-over clasp. One good thing about the clasp is that it has ample amounts of micro adjustment holes. The watch wears beautifully on my wrist, and by now I know that 36mm watches just work with my wrist size. It has such a classic proportion, and I just love the balance of that Rolex Explorer dial on the matte black background. The bracelet is actually very comfortable and feels rather solid on the wrist. As for how I enjoyed the watch, I would say that I'm quite happy with this purchase. Not only for the fact that I developed my taste through this watch. If you watched my channel before, you can tell where I got the inspiration for my Black Bay 36 purchase from. But also because it scratched that Rolex Explorer itch. The latest 124-270 Rolex Explorer 36mm is a completely different beast in the flesh, but the Alpha Explorer lets me appreciate that same design at a fraction of the price. And speaking of the price, I do think that this watch punches above its price range. There are many features on the watch such as solid links, screw pins, Miyota movement and screw down crown that I'll consider a premium for just $200 Australian dollars. And the sum of these parts end in a robust and dependable feeling watch that retains the vintage and understated charm of the 14270 Explorer. But perhaps the biggest reason that I enjoy this watch is that it's just so unfussed. Knowing its price, I like that I don't have to be super careful with it, or even careful at all. I can lay it down anywhere and not have to keep it in a pouch or be worried about it getting scratched. I've worn this watch a lot on Mondays to start off my week in a fuss-free manner, and I even like the friction clasp, which is easy to click in place. And if I had to state some negatives of the watch, I would probably mention the lack of water resistance, for confidence to take it underwater, the hollow end links, and the stamped clasp. The crown, again, is slightly too small for my large fingers, and obviously, the fact that it's a Homage watch that borders on being a clone. But despite all that, I still think that this is a handsome little piece to have in my collection. Anyway, that's all I had for this personal collection review. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe to the channel and let me know what you'd like to see next. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the Alpha Explorer 36mm. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.